How's it going? Let me know if you guys can hear me, number one. I'm going to get started here in just a moment. Make sure that the live stream stays live as it is. Just going to take a look at the Evo, the Phoenix Evolution. It is a 1,600 millimeter model or a 2,600 millimeter model. So we're going to check it out here in just a second. And let me just make sure I can see better from this camera. Let me know if you guys can hear my audio as well. I just want to make sure everything is good because sometimes audio problems come in. Hey Max, what's going on, dude? Hey, well, I might see you late at the track tonight because I have to be there. I actually have to do some tax work before I get down there, so I might be there a little bit later. So, okay, so we'll get started here in just a minute. I got the Phoenix Evolution fully built up. It's ready to fly. Hopefully I can get out this weekend and fly it. Like I said, this is like a really super long wingspan, 2,600 millimeters. I think that's it's like 103, 104 inches, somewhere right around there. So thanks to everyone for joining us right now. We'll get started in the main meat of the video, the live stream here in just a moment. I'll go over some of the trials and tribulations I had when I got this because there was some definite items that were not cool. So let me just pause for a moment. I'm going to throw on some lighting. I forgot about that. All right. Lighting is important, is it not? Oh, that's so much better. That's a little too much light, actually. Turn off half the light. Please let me know, guys, if you can hear my audio just really quickly. Hi from Germany. Let's see here. Michael, how you doing? Max, of course. I can hear. Okay, thanks, Max. I appreciate that. Sorry, I have to scroll through the comments here as we go. Hey, Lauren, how's it going? Drone with a lot of numbers behind it. How you doing? A kite hill plane. Yes, Michael. I have air brakes set up on this thing, so it should be pretty sweet. I'm gonna back this up a little bit because I can't even see the whole airplane. Okay, so we'll just get started since all you guys are here. So number one, the Phoenix Evolution. It seems like a really good plane, and if you guys follow Andrew Newton, please go see his channel for a full build video. He didn't seem to have any of the troubles I had building this thing, namely because some of the parts were missing out of the kit. So these instructions definitely woefully underwhelming as far as instructions go. I'm going to toss this down. I'm going to grab the radio because it's now beeping at me. Alright guys, so as it came, just want to go over some of the deficiencies of the kit right away. And these are not major things. These are minor things that were pretty easily overcome, but you know, these are things that you might run into if you happen to buy this kit. So number one, there's wing hardware in the instructions. They have these two joiners here, and also two joiners that are here and here. These were missing, and I don't think they were actually designed for that. I think there was a discrepancy between the instructions and what's going on here. The other thing is the fitment of these screws, pretty poor. They just barely bite into the plastic, and actually this one right here, it was not long enough to bite into the plastic to pull it through. So this is actually a wood screw. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're gonna I'll put the gain a little higher here. Alright, that is the... Okay guys, I put on the high gain for the microphone. Does that sound any better for you guys? Just let me know. I'm going to tilt you guys down just a smidge here. So yeah, let me know how the audio is. So yes, you heard it right. That is a mucho better. Thank you so much. Yeah, I put on the 20 decibel gain on the microphone. I was doing some recording earlier today. What were we doing? We were doing the Hardcore 44 wrap up. I'm sorry about the audio, guys. So I'll remember that for the next live stream. So I'm using a different microphone this time. This is the Rode shotgun mic. So yeah, so I ended up having to put a wood screw here, and this is not going to be very aerodynamic. I'm probably going to replace this screw with something else. As we go around here. All right. Number two. Let's turn this whole thing around here. The wiring is wacko. It's really strange. Okay, so we have the aileron servo out here. Came through, and it had a large lead sticking out here and a large lead sticking out here. There's like 3 inches of extra lead hanging out. So you're supposed to plug that to that, and there you're gonna have 6 inches of lead kind of just hanging around out here. I don't know what they were thinking. So I ended up stripping off this white tape here and just laying everything down and then putting the excess into the fuselage. Now if I need to pull off this extra wing section, I can actually just peel this up or make a little window here and just disconnect this little bit right here. It'd be very easy to do. I keep packing tape in my car just for those reasons, so to tape down things that need to get taped down. I got the flaps set up in a way to where they'll come down almost to 90 degrees. I can't figure out how to do the elevator mix to where it'll give a little bit of elevator compensation, but I should be able to get some decent braking with that, and I might just take care of the elevator as it comes in. If I'm going to catch it, that's going to be a problem though. So as far as the motor goes, I was able to program in the brake, so that, and I'll show you guys that here in just a second. I just plugged in the ESC with the throttle all the way at high. It went into the calibration mode. It kind of goes boop boop boop, and then it goes to a second, like a different sounding set of beeps. And during that second sound of beeps, you just throw the throttle all the way down to the bottom, and that sets your brake. And I'll demonstrate that here in just a second, guys. So yeah, one thing that Andrew Newton had notated about these tails are always a little bit weird here. This little extra section that hangs down, because you're connected into this section, and then this little part of the tail is actually not secured to the fuselage. So if you guys know how to do tape hinges, where you put tape against tape and then make a little Z-bend, these are Z-bend hinges. I went ahead and did a little Z-bend here, and you can see that this does not move right or left, which is really cool, because this is what the part that needs to be supported, so that when you actually go through and use your rudder, that it's not just all bendy and flexy right here. So I do like the way that they went through and they put carbon rods all the way through the wings, the tail sections here, and where the control horn is straddling the back portion here. How this is actually the horn is actually straddling the portion of rod that's inside the wing. So that's pretty cool. I like the blow molded fuselage. I think it's going to be a little bit heavier, but a lot stiffer than a standard foam fuselage. So let me go ahead and plug this in real quick. I'm using the Turnigy i10 radio again. I'm just out of Taranis receivers right now. I have a cool Taranis was it the sensor that tells you how high you are. It goes boop, 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 with the beeps as you go up and down. So let me just plug this in real quick. The other thing is I took the Velcro out of the bay of this this battery bay. I usually use the 3M sticky pads I stick in there, so that way you don't have to have Velcro in your batteries. And when you Velcro it down, it just sticks to that pad. It's got kind of a little sticky pad. So let me just plug this in, just kind of give you guys a rough show of what's going on here. I'm always excited about new airplanes, even if people think that they're crap. Sometimes people can take crap and fly it really nicely, like Andrew Newton does. You know, he takes his and he slope soars it all the time. I turn on the i10 here. Alright, so let's just give you guys a little example of the elevators and everything working here. And we'll take a look at the throttle. Who's that? Two Monsters. Hey man, how's it going? So yeah, I did get the brake programmed in. So that's pretty cool. Nice. And I'm just going to be running this on 3S. I don't know if you can actually use 4S on it. I don't think you can. I've heard that the motor can get very hot, so this is really not a very sporty airplane. I hear basically you're supposed to fly it up to altitude, try and thermal around while you're there, cool it down as it comes down, and then throttle back up. If you start sport flying this thing, I understand that you can have some problems going on. So Let me just show you guys my flaps real quick. I have it set up on this slider right here. So there is my flaps. And we slide it the other way. So I have it on full throw, which is pretty cool. And I know you guys are asking questions in the comment section there, so I will answer them as we go along. And just to show you from the top here, here is the flaps that are on my switch right here. So I don't like the switch that much. It's pretty notchy, but you know, you're pretty much going to be pretty much all flaps or no flaps at all. So I'd like to get some crow braking going in the future. I'm not sure how to program it with this radio, but I can always look into that. But setting up everything was pretty easy. The only last little niggle that two things I'll talk to you guys about real quick. Let me just unplug this so I don't accidentally throttle up on myself. The only major massive thing that happened with this model is that the wing fixing bolts were not in the box. Now I'm wondering if I might have gotten like a second because if you guys saw from my live unboxing, all the accessories were kind of just thrown into the box. There was bags, but they were kind of ripped open and stuff like that. So I have a feeling they probably forgot to put these wing bolts in. So these are pretty long bolts. Luckily, I watched Sir Newton's video on the this airplane, and I saw how long the bolts were. So I got some M3 by like really longs, and I cut them just to length, and I've got the 4 fixing bolts right there. You know, that was kind of my biggest stumbling block. I was like, man, I don't want to go searching around for the bolts and all that stuff. The only other thing that was a big issue was in the tail. You guys might be able to see. Let me see. Handle this thing here. Right here, the control horn was. The screws were not long enough to go through the thickness of this rudder, so basically I had to hollow out the foam and push the two halves really close together, and then finally get them to the screws to bite into the plastic. So I had a lot of issues, but I'm hoping me fixing all these issues is going to be worth it, because I've always loved sailplanes. I mean, from when I was a young boy, I've always thought about taking a plane and throwing it off a you know, a hillside and being able to glide it around. It's always been one of my dreams. So of course I've had lots of motor gliders up to this point. This is kind of the classic, where just plain wings, motor in the front, folding prop and everything. The only thing that would make this better is if it were a V-tail. V-tails are really awesome. Those are my favorite, actually. So, all right. Let's. Anything else that was a big concern? My only concern is that people have said that the ESC is weak, so I don't want to have some sort of a burned up ESC and that type of thing. So on my Maiden, I'm going to take it really, really, really easy. So. So just some other things going on the channel. So like I said, I recorded the Hardcore 44 wrap-up and my thoughts about it earlier today. And it's kind of funny, because I'm using a new app on my phone, not right now, but I'm using a new app on my phone, I had to make myself one of these. I printed out, this is a camera focusing item. So if you figure if I'm sitting right here, I have to go behind the camera, hold this over here, and then focus on this point so that the camera will be focused properly. So I made myself this cool little thing today. It's pretty cool, but it's so I can actually focus at the right point, and you know, so the background will be blurry and I will be in focus, and it looks all artsy fartsy, and you know I'm into that stuff. So, all right, so let me just take a quick peek at your guys' comments. I'm sorry, I don't have my iPad with me, so I can't look at the comments on my iPad. So I'll just scroll through right here. So. Let's see here. Okay, I'll just take it from Michael's comment. I'm going to fly this at Kite Hill. Yes, this is going to be a Kite Hill airplane. And I've been studying and watching those guys up there, how they land their 4-meter gliders with the full flaps. They basically it comes to almost a standstill as they catch the nose of the thing. It's pretty cool. That's why I was really adamant about programming the brake on my airplane. And Simon said the audio is low, and we fixed that. Lauren says it's much better, and Simon's FPV says, wow, a lot better. Okay, JK Florida says, I bought and sold the Phoenix Evo all in one day, a junk. So we will see how it goes. The variometer, yes, that's exactly what it's called, Lauren. Thank you so much. Michael the Vario, yes. Hey there, Jeff says 2 monsters. Elijah French says, oh. Chai Sty says, what's poppin', people? 2 monsters says, looks nice. Mark Dibble says, what's up, Chicago? That brake sounds so smooth. What ESC is it, Jeff? Lauren, that is the stock ESC that it comes with. So this is a plug and play. So it had the servos installed. Oh, that was the other thing. I almost forgot. Yes, if you guys watched the live feed, I almost forgot about this. One of the 2 servos in the bay underneath the wings had no gears in it. It was just a faulty. Someone put it together wrong. So I plugged it in. There was actually nothing going on in the inside. I think there were some missing gears. So that's like a $7 item. So I'm not gonna quibble about that type of stuff. I'm really more pissed about the wing bolts. That's a harder thing to actually to overcome. But luckily, I went to the local hobby store. I'm like, I think they're M3. Just give me some long ones, and it was no problem. Lauren said, yeah, no hardware. That sucks. It does. Could the bolts be under a flap in the box? I already checked that. Thank you, Chai Sty. Lauren says, Chai, they were thrown all over in the box, not in a bag. Weird. Sounds like someone's last day on the job. Right, exactly. Crow flaps or spoiler. So I'm just doing full flaps because that's what they do at Kite Hill. There's always a lot of lift as you come into Kite Hill because you're coming at it from sideways. And you fly into that little green strip that you come into. So you launch out this way and you land coming in sideways like this. So it's a nice way of doing it because if you happen to overshoot, you just go past the hill, pull up your flaps, and then fly around, as it were. So I hope to get this out this weekend and fly it because I'm super excited about it. Like I said, there's just business stuff going on, taxes and whatnot. I hate taxes. So we should get this thing up in the air. Like I said, instructions, they're pretty much crap. They're really terrible. You know, they don't tell you which bolts go where. There's no diagrams for how many bolts you're supposed to have. The wing hardware was weird. The wiring is strange. I had a busted servo right out of the box. Even after all that, I'm still excited because it's in one place. And I didn't mention this to you guys. So it's called the Evo, the Evolution, because it evolves between 2 different airplanes. Right now it's in the 2600 meter version. If you take out this section here and put the wings together, it is now 1600 millimeters. And I got a comment from one person on my YouTube channel saying, take out the middle section and fly it as a sport plane because it's much more enjoyable. I'm happy to have a lazy flying around airplane that's going to catch some thermals. That's kind of what I'm into right now. Maybe later on I'll put the wings together, I'll take out the center section, and we'll just go from there. But other than that, thank you everyone for joining me. Keep tuned to my channel. I'm going to be having a lot of content coming up really soon. So Mark Dibble says, my mini drac is out for delivery. Thanks for the RC videos. Keep them coming. Thanks so much. Mike Wiener, thank you so much for joining me. If you guys are out at Kite Hill this weekend, you might catch me. I might be at the GGT Drift Track today. Later on tonight. Just I have to get this in there because I'm so happy about this body. Check out this Lexus IS350. Oh, sweet. So I've been doing some suspension tuning to this thing. The lights work and the tail light and the angel eye. Look at these headlights here. It's so cool. Michael, maybe on Saturday. So anyway, I've never had a sedan. I've always kind of had sporty cars, so I'm super happy to have this car. We're going to be doing some team drifting tonight, so hopefully we can get some practice in for doing some triple tandems and double tandems. I was actually still struggling with getting my suspension set up correctly because the suspension is so important with drift cars. I had it dialed just perfectly, and then I decided to change my setup, and that's always a mistake. So, but it's not driving too bad. I think I'm right, pretty close to getting that tuned in. So GGT, if you guys don't know, stays open till like 2 in the morning. So I can go there at 10 o'clock at night and still drift for a couple of hours, which is really cool. There's always the regulars there, and those guys are all really cool. So, all right, so I'm going to end this right now. Oh, we're getting close to 20 minutes. Thank you for sharing your Friday with me. Sorry if this will end a little bit long, but I am excited about this airplane. When I get home, I will put a link in the description down below if you guys are interested. If you wanted to see more of a build video, which I did not film today because I was just frustrated with all the inadequacies of this thing, check out Andrew Newton's channel. He's on YouTube, and he's one of the most fantastic YouTubers out there. He's just a guy that loves his airplanes, and I can see why. But he loves this thing. He loves it for sloping. He thought it was a great model. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much. Cheers.